Hello, this is Leadership Wednesday. I'm Christian Kastner, and I would like to talk with you in the next couple of minutes about the optimistic worldview of a leader. That is something very important. Optimism is something much more than just seeing a glass half full all the time. It's a way of life, it's a strategy, and it's an act of the will. Again, I will draw on some thoughts from Martin Newman from the book Emotional Capitalists, which I found very helpful. A story is told about two salespeople, and they are sent by their boss to a third world country. Both of them should evaluate the possibilities to sell shoes to this country. Both of them return, and they are individually reporting to their boss. The first salesperson says, "Boss, I don't see any chances for us to sell shoes over there because nobody is wearing them today." Okay, the second one comes in and says, "Boss, I'm so enthusiastic about this possibility. There's an endless market because right now nobody wears shoes and so we can sell without any limit." You see, both of these salespeople faced the same situation, but they perceived it in a very different way. One was pessimistic, seeing the bad thing, and the other one was optimistic, seeing a lot of opportunities. Same situation, different outcome. And that is something what is characteristic for an optimist. An optimist sees the benefit in every situation. He sees a challenge coming to him in life and in his job as an opportunity to improve, an opportunity to learn something. And secondly, he sees a valuable lesson in every situation, in every task he gets. So even if a project runs not so well, if there's a problem coming up, he sees it as an opportunity to learn something. And thirdly, he focuses on the task to be accomplished rather than negative emotions such as disappointments or fear. So he looks at the task, break them down in measurable pieces, and then focuses on the task, not on the emotions around it. So optimism could be described as a respond constructively to crisis and to see the opportunities on the horizon. We have seen in the last crisis, 2008, 2009, a lot of companies facing all the same crisis. Some of them today are in a much better market position, and the question is why? Because they believe there will be an outcome on the other side. They invested in research and development, they invested in sales, they invested in training. And so when the crisis was over, they were in a much better market position to go and to do something different. So their optimism carried them through to the very dark crisis. There's a psychologist called Martin Seligman, and he said that he did a long-term study about the behavior of people and leaders especially. And he said the way of people working through a crisis was not dominated by what he pursued before, the triumph of the will, but rather he explained it in the way that these people were able to describe the situation, describe the crisis in different terms than the other group. They had a positive outlook and tried to learn something in the crisis. So it was a three-way of seeing the things. Number one was permanence. That means that the optimists know that a crisis will not last forever. Then they have the pervasiveness. They say and they know that failure is not permanent. Negative people think, okay, this is one incident and it will stay forever, which is not the truth in many cases. And then they're avoiding personalization. That means they don't take failure or the incident as personal. They know, okay, maybe the project messed up, maybe there was an incident which led to the failure of this project, and that was beyond my control. So I'm not a failure, but the situation failed. And then they stop this, and then they go on for something different. So to conclude this, I want to share and say that optimism can be learned. Because as Stephen Covey said once, between the stimulus and the response, you always have the choice how you can react. So watch yourself very closely, maybe next week, how you're reacting to the things which are coming your way, the negative emotions, the negative talking, the negative thinking, and the things. And then stop and pause for a moment, and then decide how you will continue. If you want to pick up the thoughts, or if you want to change it, analyze it, and then apply it in a different way in your life. So the deconstruction of a perceived problem, that is the opportunity what you can use for your learning benefit. And what could be seen as the worst case, and what can you do in order to minimize the negative impact in your life? That is something what you can do. So when you're facing a difficult situation, you try to imagine what could be the worst case, and then bring it down to your reality and say, okay, what can I do to prevent the worst case? Minimizing the negative effect and maybe turning the situation around for the positive. So the optimism is something which is very important. Yeah, it's about your vision, your foresight, and to possess the ability to go forward and to focus on the end game, despite of the challenges what are around and the setbacks. To become optimistic, you as a leader has to develop a habit of focusing on the big picture and communicating the realistic confidence in being able to achieve the task. People looking for that. They're looking for the confidence and the optimism what you display. So I wish you a very good look in this. Please comment below if you have some questions or if I can help further. Thank you.